Okay, so let's just start by saying you did it. Seriously, you put in the work, you were disciplined, and you finally crossed that huge milestone. I'm guessing if you're here, your credit score is north of 700. And you know what? You should really take a second and just pat yourself on the back. That is no small feat. It's a massive accomplishment.
And this number, this 700 plus, it is so much more than just a number on a screen. Think of it as a brand new, powerful asset you just acquired. It's like a key, right? A key that unlocks doors to way better interest rates, lower insurance premiums. I mean, just incredible financial opportunities. You've basically flipped the script. You've gone from playing defense with your credit to having a real, serious offensive advantage.
But here's the catch, right? Winning the battle is one thing, but actually holding on to the territory you've won, that's a whole different ballgame. A high score is super valuable, and because it's valuable, you've got to protect it. The game plan that got you here, all the repairing and building, that's not the game plan you need going forward. Now it's all about defense, it's about smart management.
Okay, so let's get right into the blueprint. Here's what we're going to cover. First, we're going to build a fortress around that score. Then we'll talk about how to expand your financial kingdom wisely. After that, we'll get to the good stuff, unlocking your score's true power. And finally, we'll set up your ongoing mission to keep everything safe and sound.
All right, first things first, building that credit fortress. See, now that your report is clean and your score is high, it's time to pull up the drawbridge and lock the gates. Because your biggest threat now, it's probably not a late payment. No, the biggest threat is identity theft.
And your single most powerful weapon in this fight is what's called a security freeze. Seriously, think of this as the master lock on your entire financial kingdom. When you freeze your credit files, it means nobody can open a new line of credit in your name, not even you, until you temporarily thawed it. It literally stops identity thieves in their tracks. Now there's another option. It's a little less intense. It's called a fraud alert. So if the security freeze is the big, heavy master lock, a fraud alert is more like a really vigilant guard standing at the gate. It puts a note on your file that basically tells lenders, hey, take some extra steps to make sure this is really them. It's good, don't get me wrong, but the freeze is way better.
So let's just break that down. What's the real difference? A freeze is a hard stop, a total roadblock. It completely blocks new applications. An alert, that's more like a flashing yellow light. It just asks lenders to be a little more careful. When we're talking about ultimate protection for that score you work so hard for, the security freeze is the no-brainer clear winner.
And the best part, putting up this massive wall of defense is surprisingly easy. All you do is go to the websites for the big three credit bureaus, that's Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. You log in and you find the option to freeze your file. A lot of the time, it's literally just a toggle switch you flip on. A few clicks, and you get this huge peace of mind.
Okay, so your fortress is secure. The drawbridge is up. Now we can talk about expanding the kingdom. Because once your score gets up there, you're going to start seeing all sorts of pre-approved offers flood your mailbox. But here's the key. Smart growth needs a strategy. You can't just jump on every opportunity that comes your way.
And the first rule for smart expansion is what I call the 6-month rule. Simple. Don't apply for more than one new account every 6 months. Why? Well, every time you apply, it puts what's called a hard inquiry on your report. If you get a bunch of those in a short time, it makes you look, credit hungry to lenders. And that can actually knock a few points off your score, because inquiries are about 10% of the whole formula.
And now for maybe the most important, non-negotiable golden rule of credit management. Are you ready? Never, ever, ever close your oldest credit card. I don't care if you never use it. I don't care if the rewards are terrible. Closing that account is one of the single fastest ways to wreck a great score.
Okay, so why? Why is this such a big deal? Well, a huge piece of your score is the average age of all your accounts. And that oldest card? It's the anchor holding down your credit history. It proves you have a long, stable track record. The moment you close it, the average age of all your other accounts plummets, and yeah, your score can drop right along with it.
But you're probably thinking, but I never use it. I get it. And there's a super simple, kind of elegant solution for this. I call it the subscription move. Here's what you do. Take that old card, put one tiny recurring bill on it. Think Netflix, Spotify, something like that. Then set that card to auto-pay from your bank account. And finally, take the physical card and just put it in a drawer somewhere safe. Boom! The account stays active, it keeps getting older, and your score is protected. Zero effort.
Okay, now we get to the really fun part. Your score is protected, it's growing wisely, it's time for a mindset shift.
We need to stop thinking about your score as just this number you have to defend. It's time to start seeing it for what it is, a key that unlocks some serious financial power. But before we get carried away, let's have a quick reality check. Do you know what the #1 killer of a great credit score is? It's not going on a crazy shopping spree. It's just life, an unexpected medical bill, a sudden job loss. When a real emergency hits, people are forced to pile debt onto their credit cards just to survive. And that high utilization, it absolutely destroys a high score.
And that right there is why your first offensive move is actually a defensive one. Your #1 goal right now should be to save up a $1,000 starter emergency fund. Think of that cash as a moat around your credit fortress. It's what protects your score because it means you don't have to put survival costs on a credit card when life happens.
Okay, once that moat is in place, now you can start unleashing your score's superpowers. Buying a house? Lenders are probably going to look at the middle score from the 3 bureaus. Buying a car? Here's a pro tip. Always get pre-approved at a credit union before you even set foot in the dealership. This stops them from just blasting your application out to 10 different lenders, which would create a ton of those hard inquiries we talked about. And hey, don't forget about insurance. In most states, a higher credit score can actually directly lower your car insurance bill.
All right, finally, let's talk about the ongoing mission. Because a fortress isn't something you just build and then walk away from, right? It needs constant vigilance, regular maintenance to make sure it stays strong for the long haul. So think of these next steps as your royal decrees.
So here's your homework, your immediate action items. As soon as you're done with this, your first decrees are: 1. Freeze your files with all 3 bureaus. 2. Do that subscription move on your oldest card. And 3. Pull your free annual credit report and check it for any errors or any old zombie debt that might have come back to life.
And here's your long-term maintenance schedule. It's super simple. Once a month, just glance at your balances and check your utilization. Once a quarter, scan your report for any soft inquiries you don't recognize. Once a year, do a really deep dive audit of one of your 3 reports. And always, keep autopay on for at least the minimum payment on all your cards. It is the ultimate failsafe. It'll save you from ever forgetting a bill.
So there you go. You did the hard work to build the score, and now you have the blueprint to protect it and to use its power. The old battle, the one of just repairing your credit, that's over. A whole new era of opportunity is just beginning. Your credit fortress is secure. So the only question left to ask is, what are you going to build with it?